Howdy there neighbors, Ian with eTrailer here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the eTrailer hitch on our 2015 Mazda CX-5. Let's get into a few features and then that install. And the eTrailer hitch here is going to be a great option if you've got that bike rack or cargo carrier that you want to throw on the back of the CX-5, even if you feel like towing. Wonderful option there. Great matte black finish, which is going to match the plastics of the car, so it kind of keeps that OEM look as far as the overall look of the vehicle. And a couple measurements to keep in mind while we're looking at this hitch. From the center of the hitch pin hole out to the edge of the bumper, we're looking about just 2.5 inches there. So that's going to give you an idea of what kind of clearance you're going to have if you have a folding bike rack or cargo carrier. And then from the top of the receiver hole down to the ground, we're looking at just 14 inches there. So it's going to give you your ground clearance option for any of those accessories. And our receiver here is going to take a 5/8 hitch pin, which is not included with the kit. Please do check eTrailer for all of our options, including the wonderful locking options to secure your items. And then the safety chains are going to be easy to put on because of these nice big exposed loops. It will take any type of binder that you may have for your safety chains. And for our hitch, we're looking at 4,000 pounds on the towable weight and 600 on our tongue weight. Of course, you will want to check the vehicle specs to make sure that that number is not lower, and if it is, go with the lower number of those two weight ratings. I wouldn't say the install on this one's too bad by any means. Definitely something that can be done with a couple people in the driveway in about 45 minutes, I would say. Hardest part's going to be dropping the exhaust, and we'll kind of walk you through that. But if it's not something after watching the video you feel like you want to tackle, please do check out our dealer locator. We'd be happy to get you a trained professional that can throw the hitch on there for you. Otherwise, for those DIYers, let's go ahead and hop into that install and get that all worked out. We will be dropping the exhaust down in order to get the hitch up into place. So we want to support that while we've got it loose. Just found a couple spots here on the frame that should work, and we'll just hook to those. We're gonna have that nice and snug for now. Then we're gonna come over to these rubber isolators and get those removed. What I found easiest for these is just to get the top and the bottom loose, and then you can work the bottom loose by hand. So if you get past the knuckle at the end, makes it a lot easier to slide off. Once it's past that knuckle, you'll be able to just apply pressure on the bottom and slowly work that off. We're going to repeat the same process on this rear hanger and then go over to the other side and do the same thing. Now we'll come to the rear of the vehicle. There's going to be 2 push tabs that we'll need to remove. Those can be either removed with a flathead, or you can use a poppet removal tool. We'll get both of those pulled down. It's just going to give us a little more access to worm that hitch up behind the fascia. Drop down our ratchet strap to give us better clearance. Now we'll need to loosen up these wires that are on the frame rail. You can just come in with either a flathead or poppet removal tool here, and we'll just get those pulled up and out of the way because we'll need to slide the hitch up onto the frame rail on the outside here. There's going to be one hole right here above this mounting point for the cross member, and we'll go ahead and remove the sticker off of that. Then we're going to repeat that process on the other side, and there's also one up at the rear of the vehicle right where the bumper mounts that will need to be removed. Now the hole that is above the cross member mount is going to have threads in it, and we're going to be threading in these bolts. What I like to do before I put the hitch up there is just run that in about halfway, just so that way you've got all that coating and any grime or debris that may be in the way out of the way when you go to put the hitch on. Take the carriage bolts and our bracket, and we'll go ahead and fish the end of the fish wire that will go onto the bolt through the side hole on the frame and down through the bottom. Then we'll put the bracket on next, and then thread on our bolt. We're going to feed the bracket through first, followed by the bolt, and then get that into place. And then what you'll want to do is take that fish wire and just put a bend on the end of it. That'll keep it from going back through the hitch once we feed that through. Take the hitch and we're going to be taping in a set of flat washers on the inside of the hitch because it's going to be going between the frame and the hitch. We'll do that on all 4 of our mounting points. Then we'll just slice the inside of that center hole so the bolt slides through easier. Now you will need a second pair of hands. We're going to go ahead and lift the hitch into place and then run our fish wire through the back and give that a pull. And then we'll work this up below the fascia. So I will say on the passenger side, we found that we had to trim back some of the rubber sealant that they put on the bottom of the vehicle to get this pulled through, but we're just going to pull that all the way through and then put on our conical nut here with the teeth facing towards the hitch. Then we're going to come to the front of the hitch and we'll be adding our bolt and conical tooth washer, again with those conical teeth facing towards the hitch. You will want to check the instruction manual, but there's going to be torque specs for all of our hardware, and we'll just get that set to those torque specs. And with the torque completed, we're just going to come to these rubber hanger that hold up the exhaust and throw some soapy water on there to make it easier to reinstall. Then we'll insert the 2 plastic push pins into the fascia. And then you'll want to make sure that you do remove the strap that we were using to hold the exhaust up off of the bottom of the vehicle. That's going to be our look at and installation of the eTrailer hitch on our 2015 Mazda CX-5. My name's Ian with eTrailer, and I appreciate you watching.